Okay, so it's finally happened. Tesla has opened up the supercharging network here in the UK to non-Teslas. What do we think about that? I wanted to do this quick video just to really talk about this issue. I know some of you are really loving this idea that Tesla are opening up to all other EVs, and some of you are really hating it, especially if you're new to Tesla, and that was one of the main reasons you came over to a Tesla in the first place. Now, this news has been broken today by Auto Express, and I was looking through the article. So essentially what's happened so far, it's not all Tesla superchargers, but around 20% of all Tesla superchargers in the UK will now be open for non-Teslas. And the cost is going to be a little bit higher for non-Tesla owners. So if you're a non-Tesla owner, let's say you own a Porsche Taycan, you can pay £10.99 a month, and then you will get the same rate as other Tesla owners. If you don't want to pay that £10.99 a month, you can just pay as you go to the supercharging station and pay that way. But it says you're going to pay up to around 60 pence per kilowatt hour. Now, I went on a long journey to Cornwall this week, and that's going to be the next video coming up on the channel. And the supercharging that I went to was 48 pence per kilowatt. So there's not actually a huge difference. I mean, it's a little bit more expensive, but in other ways, you don't now have to buy a Tesla to get the supercharging. So what do we feel about that as Tesla owners? So I'm looking at it in kind of two ways. One, it's great for electric car adoption. It means that anyone who has an electric car or has been thinking about getting an electric car and has never been sure can now have the peace of mind that actually they may be able to that long journey, even in a car with much less range, and use a Tesla supercharger without any problems. Now, I think that's great, but one problem I had in the video that is coming up next is another road trip to Cornwall, and it's actually an identical road trip that I did to Cornwall that you may have seen on the channel where we went to St Ives, and I copied the same route just to see how my car would handle the route a year on. Has the battery degraded, and what is the supercharging like? And what I learned, not to spoil that video, but there's essentially two things that came up whilst we were driving to Cornwall. One was that there was a couple of more supercharging stations along the route. There was only a couple when you got down to Cornwall, actually sort of very north of Cornwall, and now there's one right close to St Ives, which is very good, and another one opening up in Newquay as well, which is good. But the main problem we had was on the way down, we were going to the Gordano services, and they were full. So just before we were going to kind of turn off and go to Gordano, the Tesla quickly rerouted us round and took us to the Bristol Cribs Causeway. So the superchargers at Gordano were full. Now, on the way back, we had the same problem, but at the Michael Wood services. All of the superchargers were full as we turned up. So I was thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have to sit here for half an hour and wait for all of these other Teslas to charge. Luckily, someone was just pulling out and I got in, but there was another Tesla that turned up after me and they had to just sit and wait whilst all of these other Teslas did their full charge. So there's lots of pros and cons to think about. Now, my question for you, if you're a Tesla owner, has this pissed you off? Has it annoyed you? Are you happy about it? If you're watching the channel and you're not a Tesla owner, has it put you now off a Tesla because you can now buy that Porsche Taycan or that Kia EV you've been looking for? And there's plenty of EVs coming from other brands like Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, Kia, Nissan. So it really does open up the market. If the supercharging network was one of your big issues, and it was for me because I do a lot of miles to Cornwall, to Norfolk, to Middlesbrough, the supercharging network was a massive pull for me. So it would actually make me think next time when I come to upgrade the car, even though I love the Tesla, it's the best car I've ever had, it would now make me think, well, I might as well take a look at what BMW are offering, or I might as well take a look at what Mercedes are offering. They do have autopilot style features in their cars. Whereas before, I think I would have solely stuck to Tesla. I would certainly consider another brand. Now, let's be honest, I probably will stick with a Tesla. I'm a Tesla fan, but I do love Mercedes as well. Mercedes was my favorite car brand up until getting the Tesla, and the quality of the Mercedes is much higher in my opinion. The build quality is much higher. Just things like closing the door and the boot, it doesn't make that kind of tin noise. It actually sounds really nice. So I would consider looking at another brand at least, but let me know in the comments section below. And if you want to see that video of that road trip to Cornwall part 2, 1 year on, make sure you subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell, as that video is coming very soon.